Vultures. We're going to see Flash probably plopping down an army as soon as he has a couple idle SCVs. They're not plopping. There you go. Armor at the upper left-hand position. Still don't see engineering base out there yet for him. So at the very least, Hwasin's going to be able to accomplish some sort of damage. Should be able to pick off some SCVs and such. There are a couple of Marines out there. Academy also on the way. And a second armory on the way as well. So he's going to get some upgrades going. But as long as he keeps away from the bunker, he should be able to do some damage. Going to pick up some SCVs here and there. Should actually focus on trying to do some economic damage so that Flash can't support all of his factories. Because Flash is still very heavy in the Vultures, is just not getting his tanks out there. Really needs to do something with his Wraiths. There are just a couple of Marines are going to be a little bit annoying to these Wraiths as well. Wraiths, really the only thing you have to do right now is just fly straight to the main. Sharp getting out CVs. They don't even have to bother fighting these Marines. Vulture's now going to go out there, do a little bit of mine clearing for Hwasin. Being forced to waste some scans on that. Not really what that type of position he wants to be. Has to be very careful with these tanks. Still a lot of mines out there. Dear lordy. Careful, careful. Oh! Is that me? Oh! Man, playing risky right there. Flash still mining up all over the place, all across the map. So at least he knows exactly the movement that Hwasin's doing. So actually, Hwasin gonna start to try focusing a little bit on tanks. Yeah, just the problem with Wraiths that even if you go out there, even if you have 3 out there and you try to focus on SCVs, it takes you a while to pick off one single SCV. And just in the end, it might not be worth it. But of course, those tanks are being repaired still. So he's going to try to cross the bridges on this northern side with his Vultures. Meanwhile, I think Flash has more Vultures out there. So if it comes down to a Vulture battle, Flash also, Goliath and they are going to, on the ground, going to force those Wraiths back. And has some tanks on the ground as well. While Hwasin has a couple of his own. Flash going to siege up. Vulture's going to siege up. Vulture's going to engage at the front. Siege tank going to go fire. But tanks in a larger number out there for Flash. One heavily damaged tank at the back there for Hwasin really needs to get repaired. Scans going off for Flash as well. Also going to expand the torque arc position. Hwasin can't expand at the 4 o'clock yet since due to the lovely mine situation going on there. And let's see. Just to let you all guys know, I'm not going to bother posting anti-spoilers for the round of 16 simply because I do not. It takes longer to make an actual anti-spoiler video than it takes to make a normal video. So, I just don't have the time for that, nor do I have the patience for that. I'm between exams, StarCraft commentaries, a new website, a girlfriend, a life, work, and just trying to find some free time just to jerk it and have a beer here and there. Between all that, no. Screw your anti-spoilers. Every other commentator but Nuke and I generally do not post anti-spoilers, so just for once, let me have my thing. And those of you whining about putting up video responses, I apologize. I just always forget to do that, and the way that YouTube has remade itself recently has made it even more annoying to make video responses. So again, I apologize. Ray's going to go try and do some harassment about those Goliaths in there. Those Wraiths are going to become totally ineffectual. So Hwasin in many, many ways behind. He's just getting his 3rd now, really behind Flash. He's a lot more troop damage has been done by Flash to Hwasin. And Hwasin overall just not in a very good position. Going to try to expand here at the upper right position. Going to try to take advantage by picking up the double gas. But Flash is ready for that. One Vulture in there. Going to go pick that off. Pick off the SV. Hwasin going to clear it up, but still Flash knowing at all times, reading Hwasin like an open book really, and just keeping him closed off. This is really Flash is going to be able to play a strong, keep your opponent inside his base game, I guess. It's just going to move out a little bit across this middle, and he has more tanks out there, so he's going to be able to engage much better. And Hwasin's still going to be in a lot of trouble, but yeah, Flash is going to be able to play a game of control as long as he goes out there and does some damage and keeps Hwasin to lesser bases. If he manages to expand another time, Hwasin's actually going to move across here. The map feels, the minefield has a lot of tanks out there. More Vulture minerals coming in here, but catching Flash off guard a little bit with Vultures picking off all of those tanks. A lot of Vultures coming from the back, some tanks coming in from the north side, so Flash still has quite a few units in there. Hwasin, though, doing a nice push in here with a lot of those tanks, but Flash, unfortunately, for Hwasin, has tanks both on the north side and still more reinforcements at the west side. So he's being forced to hold here in the middle with nothing but those tanks. Try to plant in mines in close, but still not in a very good position altogether. Is now just getting his 4th base going, and Flash still very strong economically. There's more production going on, and ahead on many different counts. Also going to go in here, go for the surround on some of those tanks that were a little bit closer to Hwasin's base. Doing some damage, not quite managing to plant mines enough so that they don't get picked off, but still overall doing a pretty good job. And also going to expand on his, what is that, inside 9 o'clock. So, yeah, kind of the inside 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. So, going to pick up yet another base. And Flash is really ahead in this game. Really, every single step ahead of what Hwasin tries to do. Just plays a nice, solid game of TVT, and it's really nice to watch that. Has weapons 1 at this point. I think he did cancel his second factory, actually. Second armory, I'm sorry. Did actually cancel that. Was going for 2. Well, not quite sure whether that was an accident or not, but decided against that. So he's going to stick with the singular upgrades, and that's generally what you see in TVT, is just upgrading the tanks, weapons for 1 armory and nothing else. Science facility on the way, so yeah, before he wants to get the heavy upgrades going, he's going to need some of that. He's going to need some of that science vessel action. Still don't see any dropships out there for either player. And unfortunately for Hwasin, going for those raids really did not pay off at all. I think it would have sufficed him better to actually go for a dropship, trying to go for a vulture drop, and try to plant some mines in front of the factory, something like that, do some damage in that matter. And now he's going to be forced to try to hold off bases that really can. He's trying to pick up this upper right-hand position, and Flash really is going to be able to shut this down. Only a few tanks in the Goliath there to support. Flash is going to get across this base. A few more tanks in there. Let's go Hwasin, but I still think that Flash is going to be able to go to the upper end position, despite the fact that Hwasin has some forces at the southern position. Across those bridges, still going to be able to get in very close with those vultures. Going to be able to pick those tanks. Are going to be able to plant mines. He's going to be able to clear up this position. Mines. Oh, going to pick up all those tanks except 1. That's just going to get picked to death by those vultures. Sisivi going to go down command center in a lot of trouble. Hwasin going to come in with a few reinforcements, but oh man, he was also building up base at the 3 o'clock position. That gets picked off. Now the vultures are inside his 4 o'clock, doing damage there, picking off a lot of SCV. So this is exactly what Flash needs to do. He needs to deny bases, he needs to do economic damage, just keep control of the map, keep control of Hwasin's economy, make sure he's ahead at all times, make sure he does not get harassed, and he's going to be in a very good position. Flash, meanwhile, going to expand below left position, going to pick up his own double gas, and I'm not quite sure whether Hwasin is going to have enough forces to really do anything about it. Just now, Engineer be coming up there for Flash, actually, so we're going to start getting some turrets out there just in case there are going to be dropships coming into play for Hwasin, but I still think Hwasin just does not have the unit count either to go out there and do some harassment like Flash can. Flash now also working on his dropship count. Let's see, yeah, exactly the same thing for Hwasin, so he might go for dropships at the lower left hand and try to do some damage with that, and also maybe with the ground army, but one single dropship not going to be able to have a large enough payload to really do anything at the lower left hand position. He has some forces protecting that inside 6 o'clock. I feel he might move out a little bit with that. Meanwhile, Flash actually going to move across this northern position. Hwasin has a lot of tanks here, but with a lot of vultures to support here for Flash. They're going to be able to come in close and absorb some of the damage. We're going to see how close he actually manages to get them. Has tanks coming in from the north as well. So that's going to be a pincer attack right here. Going to finish off all these forces, and Hwasin just dwindling little bit by little bit. Trying to come in with reinforcements to send up. Is going to start mining at the upper right position. Going to try to get up the double gas. But unfortunate for him that Flash already picking up the double gas to the low left as well. Hwasin does have more dropships in play from what I've seen. I'm not quite sure how many Flash has. I only see 1. Hwasin has 3, so at the very least he can be able to do, if he manages to take advantage of that, he's going to be able to have a much more maneuverable army. But I'm not quite sure if he's going to be able to really sacrifice any forces. But pretty much you have to pick up those forces and move them around, you have to pretty much weaken one of your position, and he does not want to take those forces away from the inside 6. That's going to leave yourself vulnerable.